Breaking news on the Iran unrest. Is Trump attack on Iran imminent now, as Trump aide has hinted at attack on Iran tonight? Trump's aide has claimed that this might be the night US attacks Iran. In fact, he goes on to say that it is just a matter of time. Trump claims he is in touch with Iran opposition leaders, and this Iran unrest has claimed over 500 lives so far. So is an attack by the United States on Iran imminent now, as Donald Trump's aide hints at attack on Iran tonight?
I had to cut the speech off a little bit, and it was really very kind of you to do what you were doing. I don't know what, but this might be the night. It's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of time. Why is it just a matter of time? And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? This tyrannical regime needs to end. We need to end this for the good people of Iran and for our own selves and the people of Israel. We need to take this guy down.
So that's the statement that has been made by Donald Trump's aide, who claims that this might be the night when US attacks Iran. So that's a big statement that has been made. Remember, Donald Trump has been speaking on the unrest in Iran, and he has been speaking against Khamenei. And now this big statement coming to the fore by Donald Trump's aide, who claims that this might be the night when US attacks Iran. In fact, he has said that it's just a matter of time, and Donald Trump, meanwhile, claims that he is in touch with the Iranian opposition leaders. Meanwhile, the unrest in Iran has claimed over 500 lives. So remember, what started as an economic protest has now turned into political regime change protests in Iran, claiming 500 lives till now. And we're now being joined by Adrian Calamil, who's a West Asia expert. Mr. Calamil, how do you see this statement coming to the fore by Donald Trump's aide, who claims that this might be the night when US attacks Iran?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. Good morning to you and to your viewers. It is an interesting statement. I think what we're seeing right now, Trump made statements earlier in the week that he was going to support the Iranian protesters, especially if they're going to be fired on, which the regime does. We know they do that. But over the last bunch of nights, there has been a complete internet lockdown. Nothing's been getting out except for Starlink videos, which were smuggled into Starlink videos with the terminals that were smuggled into the country. So I've seen, relatively, estimates that I trust that are putting the death toll somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 at this point. And I think that would be more accurate, looking at the scenes on the street and the bloodshed and how the security forces operate. And there's also concern that the Hashd al-Shabi, or the Iraqi militias, are going to join the fight as well. So the security forces of the regime are definitely on the ropes, but they have a monopoly on violence. They have all the weapons. There hasn't been noticeable defections as of yet. So I think Trump is looking at this as where the Iranian protesters, they need some breathing room, or they are going to get slaughtered en masse.
All right, Mr. Calamil, do stay with us. We're also being joined by India Today Global's Pranay Upadhyay with us. Pranay, that's a big statement that has been made by Donald Trump's aide, who claims that this is the night when US attacks Iran. And this comes amid Donald Trump's repeated reactions and statements on the unrest in Iran. We're also learning that he's in touch with the opposition leaders as well.
Good morning, Anjali. And what we are witnessing right now is the maximum pressure policy of President Donald Trump in Iran. You know that he signed the executive order of exercising the maximum pressure policy on Iran. We have seen how U.S. carried out military strike against the military establishment and the nuclear establishments of Iran, some months ago. And now, at a time when Iran is witnessing the biggest protest in the last few years, now at a time President Donald Trump has given repeated messages and indications that he is evaluating various options, including the military option. However, the situation remains very precarious in Iran. There is internet ban. And
All right.
what we are getting, the information we are getting is now, it's like very selective information we are getting right now.
All right, Pranay, thank you for those details. Mr. Adrian Calamel, who's a West Asia expert, continues to stay with us. Mr. Calamel, do you see these statements as a signal of intent or strategic pressure tactics by the U.S.?
Well, yeah, I think we need to look at, first of all, who the statements came from. It's from Lindsey Graham. He's not in the chain of command as far as military decisions are made. He is an ally of Trump, but Trump's not going to tip that to him. Lindsey Graham has been against this regime for a long time. So, these may just be statements. It may be forecasting, saying, this is coming sooner or later. Just like Trump's, he put them on a 60-day window for their nuclear program, and on day 61, they were struck.
Right, Mr. Calamel, we saw what happened in Venezuela, and if at all U.S. In fact attacks Iran, how do you see that impacting the geopolitics? Will China, Russia be then silent on this?
Well, that is a very interesting question, because if analysts who are serious about this and look at the adversaries facing the West and you rank them in order of weakness to strength, it goes from Tehran to Moscow to Beijing. And then you have a bunch of other, I would say, other countries that are in Venezuela, Caracas, Islamabad, Pakistan, Pyongyang, that I would say are their part of their support system. So, cutting the Islamic Republic out of this and out of the equation puts a major dent in their global ambitions. And they do have global ambitions, the three of them, this triumvirate or trifecta or whatever you want to call them.
Right. Mr. Calamel, Donald Trump also claims that he's in touch with the opposition leaders in Iran. So is he trying to do what he did in Venezuela in Iran as well?
No, this has been a long. Venezuela had it happened overnight, and it was almost like what you call a decapitation strike. They tried to remove, did remove the president of the country, but they did not remove the military. They did not remove the security apparatus. A lot of the establishment, the military forces, etc. Now, with the Islamic Republic, the calculus has changed since 2003. We've seen since 2023. What we've seen is the Islamic Republic be degraded on all fronts, whether it is Hamas, Hezbollah, whether it's losing Assad in Syria, whether it is the proxies in Iraq, they've been hit, and you also have the Houthis. So he's lost a lot over the last 2 years, and there's also the economic pressure that the United States continues to put on the Islamic Republic through the maximum support pressure. So it's there's pressure from the outside, but all the recipes for an implosion are right there inside the country. And the Achilles heel of the Islamic Republic has been the economy, which you alluded to as being kind of kicking off these protests.
All right, Mr. Adrian Calamel, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast on India Today. So, big warning from the United States to Iran. Donald Trump's aide has claimed that this might be the night when U.S. attacks Iran. Remember, the statement comes amid the protests, the unrest in Iran for a regime change. And amid that, 500 people have been killed so far in these protests. And amid that, U.S. has made this big statement that U.S. might attack Iran tonight.